it play and call it work.
Hey there, Wargamers. Luka and Vito here to play Coreball, the zero-gravity sport. Now, this is a game that is not quite released yet. We have the prototype. This is by Burning Games, and if you want any contact information or any more details, down below in the description, we'll have all of the information for you, links, and all of that stuff. Now, this won't be a how to play. This will be more of a battle report, but we will be going over the rules as we play the game. We had a chance beforehand to play a couple of test games or a couple of battle rounds even as well before we decided to record it, and we're feeling pretty confident. The rules are very clear, very concise, very well written, and a very uniquely designed game as well, which you will have the opportunity to witness right now in a moment. We'll get to that. If you have heard of Coreball and you're curious, you can use this video as a source. And if you haven't heard of Coreball, well, please sit down and enjoy as we are about to get right down into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Coreball, the zero-gravity sport.
And here we have the basic setup of Coreball. Just before we begin, I want to mention that this is, of course, by Burning Games, which I said before. If you're not familiar with Burning Games, they create a sci-fi RPG known as Faith, which Coreball is based in. So Coreball is a sport based in their sci-fi RPG called Faith. And a general synopsis is Coreball is a board game, essentially, with miniatures that you can paint yourself. And it is meant for 2 to 4 players. It is a free-for-all game. And we'll go into more detail about how that's relevant later on. Vito and I, of course, will be playing just a 2-player game. And through our experience so far with it, very easy game to pick up, though hard to master, I would say. Very steep learning curve when it comes to Coreball, which I've experienced because I haven't beaten Vito yet. So
There's definitely strategy involved.
Yes.
Definitely strategy involved.
Yes, there's a lot of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe in the actual battle report, I can beat you.
Maybe,
We'll see. Vito's team will be the red miniatures. They are the Space Sharks. And I'll be playing the green miniatures, the Bullbugs. Now, I wanted to note that I did an unboxing video for this game previously, so if there's any information that you feel like I didn't touch up on, go check out that video to see what's in the box. Otherwise, enjoy the show. I want to mention again that I did in the unboxing video, these are prototype miniatures, prototype cards, prototype board. It's pretty solid as is, but the miniatures are going to be cast in a hard plastic instead of the resin they are now. But as you can see, there's already a lot of detail in these minis. These are just primed green for our simple use, and Vito's team is red, but you could obviously paint these up to a pretty high detail, pretty high quality. First things we do, we set up the game board here. We put the blank asteroid field circuit underneath. That is essentially for our deployment. And as we finish deploying, we've randomized the asteroid field sheets. In fact, I'll show you what it looks like. This is what they look like. There's 4 of them, and they're all different. I'll go ahead and re-randomize them. Then when we're ready to begin, I slide one of those underneath as this is lifted up off of the board. So the minis and the tokens go on top, and the actual circuits go underneath. I know there's a little bit of glare. You have to apologize for that. I'll have to apologize for that, but it doesn't look all that bad. It's very focused on those 2 areas based on wherever I move the camera naturally. This is also normally how it's set up because you want the back side of this down while the top side is underneath this, so you can reference the special rules of they call them circuits, that you will be playing your game in. And there are going to be more circuits in the future as this game is released. This is the most basic one. This is the asteroid field. We are literally playing in an asteroid field in space, represented by the actual space board underneath. We're both going to start with 5 victory points. I know it's odd to start with a fixed number, but you'll understand why as we go into the rounds if you're not familiar with the game. Now we have to determine the first player. As it is written now, it says the last player to have been in space gets to be the first player. But that's not relevant for either of us. So it says if that's not possible, if neither of you have been to space yet,
we have to find a different way.
A different way. You can roll dice, or you could, I don't know, play paper football, or you could race.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Or you could rock, paper, scissors, but
we've come up with a real fun way.
Right.
Right, so hold on, Luka, don't jump the gun.
I'm ready.
So, I've come up with a real fun way. Instead of us going to space, we are currently in space,
right,
which is determined by this game mat.
Right.
So, the first one to slap our hand on the game mat has been to space.
Okay.
So on the count of 3, we're gonna go to space.
Okay. Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or is it 1, 2, 3, go? Wait, sorry. I said the same thing.
All right, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3,
Space.
go.
Okay.
Or space.
So it's not 1, 2, 3 space at the same time. Is it like rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or is it, that
Yeah.
kind of thing? Yeah.
All right, so are you ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, no.
Oh, you want the ball?
Yeah, I want the ball.
Oh, you want the ball. Okay, interesting.
So what happens is I have to deploy the first player on the game, but that means I also start with the ball. Because I want to start with the ball. I've noticed in my experience, it's rough to get the ball, and I have a good player that's good at keeping the ball. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes.
I think Luka is tired of losing the last couple times we played.
I want to go second. I want to start with the ball. And you're going to notice that there's no end zones or anything here. There's no place to score the ball. This is, if I had to describe it to anything, it's very much kind of like monkey in the middle.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to anyone. And whoever has the ball at the end of each round, that player's, or that model's player scores victory points. And one cool thing to note in a multiplayer game is whoever is the first player, well, what I should say is who isn't the first player gets a ball token. So that means that there's going to be one ball for every player in the game, -1, minus the first player. So if we were playing with 2 other people, that means there'd be 3 ball tokens. Everyone would have one except for Vito, because he's going first. And then you would go clockwise from Vito's sitting position at the table to determine the player order. And then the first player changes every round, and this will be the first player token. So this is Vito's, and then that'll go to me next round, then back to him, then back to me. But if you're playing a 4-player game, you go Vito over here to me to there, and etc. etc. The next step is choose your factions. We've already done so. We're starting with the suggested teams instead of building our own, which is an option in the game. Now, Vito and I have 2 of the teams, but there are 4 teams in total. So there is the purple team and the yellow team, which is the Preachers and the Technotics. So right away, you have all the models you need to play a 4-player game once you get the box, which is really nice and convenient. For my team, I have King, Wally, Grasshopper as my kind of star unique players, and then I have 5 mercenaries, which are neutral players that everyone has access to. Now these are the suggested ones for both players. I have a center, a forward, a hacker, a safety, and a tackle. So Vito has those exact same 5. Instead, it looks like you go ahead and read their names because they're backwards for me.
I've got Therinth, Zeron, and Phaser.
And then you have the same 5 mercenaries.
The same 5, yeah.
And as you can see, they all have different characteristics, which I'll cover shortly, and they all have different special abilities. Now, if you're a new player and you feel like you might be overwhelmed and you're playing this game yourself, you do not have to play with the special abilities on the cards. Though they are quite simple and easy to... If you forget about them, well, you forget about them. Big deal. It's not the worst thing in the world. But using them really makes them feel unique and quite fun. Got our tokens to the right. And now we start deploying. Now the rule for deploying, there's a list of things you have to follow. I'm the second player. I have to deploy the first model, and it has to be the ball carrier. So I'm going to put down King, the ball carrier. So he'll go down there. And because it's a 2-player game, technically, if it's a 2 or 3-player game, each player has to put down a minimum of 5 of their players. The rest will be in reserve. And for the deployment, you're not allowed to put your models or your player, your flyer, in the same square as an enemy for the deployment only, but throughout gameplay they can end there. And you can't put, if I put him there, I can't put an ally orthogonally near him, so I have to put him adjacent or just somewhere else on the map. There's no actual deployment zones, I can put him anywhere on the field. They're kind of just shot into the field here, and they have to just deal with it. Vito deploys Phaser right in front of King. I'm going to put my hacker down over here. We'll see if they can do anything. And that's Vito's hacker as well. I'm going to put Wally, my big guy, in the same tile as King to essentially protect him if I can. Now there's rules for stuff like that. Now I'm not allowed to put more than 2 of my same models in the same tile. That's called model bunching. And the other rule is there can't be any more than 4 of anyone's models in a tile. So no 5 models in a tile. That won't be relevant here. The most we can have in a tile is 4, 2 of mine and 2 of Vito's.
I'm going to be putting a tackle right beside Phaser.
I'm going to throw safety down over here. Good pusher.
I'm going to be putting Zerion right there. He's actually a very good pusher himself.
My last drop will be Grasshopper.
And for my last one, I'm going to be putting in Therinth.
Now both Vito and myself have our 5 flyers on the board. We have all of them, the active flyers represented in front of us. And we have our 3 reserves off to the side. They can join later in the rounds, not the first round, but on rounds 2, 3, and 4 if I need some reinforcements. And obviously as people get pushed off of the circuit, these ones can join up, or the ones that I could pushed off can join up again after. We're just about ready to Coreball. I want to go over some of the characteristics on the cards first, though. We'll take a look at my king. These are all of his characteristics on the left here. The top one is his ball handling of 3, which is a pretty good. 3 is above average. Above average seems to be 1 or 2. This is the second characteristic. This is his push value. So he's got 0, which means he can't do it whatsoever. He cannot elect to push. He cannot elect to counter push if he is pushed. He's bad at it. Then we have grappling at a 1, so pretty poor. We have 3 as the dodge. This is his hacking characteristic, which is 0, which means he is not able to hack. And this is his firewall, which is his defense against hacking. And of course, he has abilities down here. A reaction simply means you do it when the clause is met to do it. It kind of interrupts whatever's happening once that event is actually happening. And you'll see very much the same for the rest of my characters here. They all excel in certain fields, and they all suck at certain fields as well. Same thing with Vito's. Now we're ready to Coreball. Obviously we have a blank circuit. The first thing we do is figure out how we're playing, and it just kind of slips in right underneath. Now you're supposed to technically take the blank one out first, but this fits in nicely underneath as an I. Just figured, why not put that in there? And kind of straighten it out so it makes sense for the players, or you just kind of adjust them so they make sense. And that is what we're dealing with. We have all of these objects, we have all this terrain, we have all of these, well, things to watch out for. So, quick overview. The yellow ones are actually kinetic barriers, that's right. They force your flyers to be tired, and when a flyer is tired, they cannot perform any movement. So they can't do any actions. Yeah, tired makes it you can't do any actions, but you can still move. And the red ones are force fields. If you pass through them, you take a wound. And by wound, I mean you flip over the card to its wounded face. So it loses characteristics and it's overall weaker. This side is called the hail side. As far as we know, everything seems to have 2 wounds, other than things like Wally here, who ignores wounds caused by area terrain, which is anything on the circuit. So the red asteroid, if you end your turn there, causes a wound. He ignores that. He's a big tough guy. He ignores going through the force fields. Now the yellow asteroids here are debris. They cause you to be tired if you end your turn in that square. And sorry, end your turn, I say end the round. If there's any flyers that end the round there, they become tired. There's a certain order of operations in the resolution phase, which is the cleanup phase of the round, which we'll get to when we get to. And the other white ones with the arrows are railguns. If you move through the railgun in that direction, you gain momentum. Because we are in space, momentum lasts until it is lost. So say you get momentum going at that direction, that means you're forced to move in that direction come the resolution phase and you have no control over your character. You could move off of the board and lose victory points. Now, if you have momentum facing that direction, if you then move in this direction, you'll lose that momentum because they cancel each other out. And momentum can stack. So if you go from here to here to here, you'll gain 2 stacks of momentum, which means you're going to move 2 spaces off the board in the resolution phase. I'll try and be mindful of the glare, but with that, we're ready to begin. And Vito has the first move. Now, what Vito can do on his move is he can activate one of his guys by turning it sideways and declaring they're gonna activate. And you can move them up to 2 tiles. You can only move orthogonally, so you can only go north, south, east, or west. But you can do 1 move and then proceed to do that direction again from there. You don't have to keep going straight. You can move 1 tile, then move to the right or move to the left, but there's no adjacent moving in this game.
And something that should be mentioned too is you can do something like a move action.
Yes.
Or you can action move, or you can move action move.
Right. You can do all of that. So, what would you like to start with? Do you know already, or do you want time to think?
Give me a little bit of time to think.
Gotcha. This is Vito thinking.
Yeah, it's actually a very strategic game.
It is.
Like when Luka and I were first playing, we're both kind of like staring at the board, really trying to figure it out. Yeah, very strategic game. I actually thoroughly enjoy it. It's kind of like playing chess, almost.
It is, and it's got, because you can control when you pick up momentum, but it's at the same time your opponent can grapple you, your opponent can push you, and obviously when you get pushed or grappled, you get dragged through certain things that you have no control over. So there's things like that. So
for my first move, the Space Sharks, they're a very aggressive team.
It seems so, yes.
Yeah, indicating red, right?
Right.
So Therinth, she's one of the star players. Oh, look, I even got off the board. So she's going to move over into this square.
Right.
And she's going to try and push one of your star players off into that direction.
Yes. So when you declare a push, you can push my flyer in any direction you want, not adjacent, but up, down, left, or right.
Yeah.
And to do so, I have to react. And I have a certain list of options. She's performing the push action, so I can counter push, I could try and dodge, or I could try and counter grapple. When she comes in for the push, I could try and grab her. Now my guy is really good at grappling, so I'm going to try to grapple, or counter grapple. So I'm going to use my grapple skill against her push skill. What's her push skill?
Her push skill is 3.
My grapple skill is 3.
Alright.
So now during a confrontation, that's where the deck of cards comes in. So we both have a value of 3. These cards have a number on the bottom of them that we add to our skill. Whoever has the highest wins the outcome, the confrontation. Now if there's a tie, the active player who started the confrontation wins. I'm going to go ahead and draw. I got a 3, which is pretty good.
I also got a 3.
So that's good for Vito because he wins ties. You trying to push me?
I am.
So which direction would you like to push me?
Right off the board.
So that means I lose 2 victory points because I was pushed off of the circuit, not under my own activation for that model. Now, if you are controlling the model, so by pushing me off the board, I lower my victory track down to 3. And what that means is he goes into reserves now. Nothing bad happens to him. He's not dead or anything like that. And if he was tired or hacked, he would lose those tokens as well. And he'd also lose momentum as he kind of recollects himself in reserves. Joining the rest of reserves, which is specifically good because that means I just lost an activation to your 1. So that was and I lost victory points too, so that was a good trade. When I activate Wally, Wally's going to move up to this tile. And because I'm going through that, I gain momentum in the direction towards me. And that's represented by the little momentum token pointing towards me underneath him, and again, those do stack. And then I'm going to go ahead and attempt to grapple your tackle, which is the guy on the left here.
Okay.
So, you get to declare a reaction.
I'm going to try and counter grapple, because my grapple is 3.
Right.
So it's the best stat, so that's what I think I'm going to try to do.
Okay. We both have 3, so we're both going to draw a card. I got a 3 again, so it puts me up to 6.
Oh.
That gets you up to 6, but I'm the active player.
Yeah.
So I do win the grapple. So those are discarded. And when all the cards are used and discarded, you just reshuffle the deck and get a new deck. Now, 3 things just happened there. I know there's tokens down there. Let me see if I can get a better shot from over here. Aha! There's a token representing that they're grappled towards me. I am the grappler, and the tackle there for Vito is the grappled. Now, Vito tried to do a counter grapple. Any attempt of a counter grapple automatically makes you tired, which means you can't do any actions until that tired token is gone. Now that tired token does go away after you activate your flyer, but you have to suffer the effects of it for your turn. And we're also grappled. The next thing that happens is if I have any momentum tokens or you have any momentum tokens, we have to take, well, both of us collectively have to take the highest amount of momentum tokens in a certain direction. So I'm the only one with a momentum token towards myself, so that means you automatically gain that momentum token as well. So you're tired, and my momentum is forcing us both in the direction towards me. And then, I only used 1 move action. You're allowed to do 2 moves. You're allowed to do 2 moves in 1 action, so I've done 1 of each. I'm going to move both of us over to this square. And that's where we're going to end our move. And that is the end of his activation.
Being the big bullies that we are, we're going to, Zeron, he's going to move over into this square, and he's going to try to push you off the field.
That is my hacker. The only real defense I have there as an option is to dodge the push, and I'm only dodged 2.
He's pushed 4.
So, right away, you're already 2 ahead. I'm going to have to draw 4, and you're going to have to draw 1.
And Luka's very good at drawing high cards, even in our test game.
Yes, but it's not helping all that much.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a 4. Oh! But you have to draw 1, though, because I'm at currently 6.
And I got a 2.
So you got a 6 total.
Yeah.
So you got a 6 total, I got a 6 total. You win draws. And which direction would you like to push me in?
Off the board.
Boop! That's another 2 victory point loss for Luka, so I'm down to 1, and Hacker goes back into reserves. And you can still move after that.
Ooh. So then we can still move, and we're going to move back to here.
Alright, so you go in, push, back you go. And activate my safety here. I'll flip my card, and he's got an ability called Turbo. Once per activation, safety can perform 1 additional movement. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, gain momentum in this direction, right there, and we're going to declare a push against the guy I'm in. Who is that I'm in a tile with?
Oh, that is Phaser.
All right, what is Phaser wanting to do here? The only characteristic that you can use is dodge. So it's my 3 versus your 3, and I win ties. Okay. So drawing the card, I got a 4.
It's you and those high cards.
So no matter what, I win.
What? No, I don't.
Yeah, so I think the highest card is a 4. I haven't seen a 5 yet.
I have not either, no.
So I win, and that's a push. And you better believe we're going through that force field. Zoom.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm going to take a wound.
So he's wounded, which means you automatically lose a victory point for suffering a wound.
Yeah, and he gets flipped over.
Yep, so he's flipped over to the red side. And if you suffer another wound on him, he's dead. Well, eliminated. Too injured to keep playing for the rest of this game, which is also another victory point loss. One thing I wanted to mention earlier, and at this point it's quite obvious, so it's more of a joke to mention now than anything, is this is not a dice game. This is a card game and board game. Wow, no dice. There we go. I know that's a big question for a lot of people. Is this a dice game? Is this not a dice game? A lot of people like random natures of dice game. A lot of people don't. This is a card number value variant game. So it's kind of got that dice element, but a little bit more fixed. Like you know what's going to be coming up, and towards the end of the deck, you'll know what's coming up. And as a rule, currently, you're not allowed to look through your opponent's discard pile. You can look at the top card. The top card's always open information, but the rest of the pile is not.
My hacker, he's going to try to hack King.
We're going to hack King, eh? So hacking can be done from any square to any square. The only defense against that is firewall. King has a firewall of 2. Hacker's got a hack of 3. So we have a confrontation. So we're going to flip a card. I got a total of 5. That's a 1?
Oh, come on. These cards, what's happening? You and these high rolls. High rolls, high draws.
The thing is, I'm getting rid of all my high draws now. And I won't get them back until I shuffle the deck. That's the one thing about it.
And there are 4 rounds.
Yes, so. Exactly. So I counter the hack. But most importantly, let me see that card.
Yeah.
So Vito drew a 1 power card. Now, it doesn't matter the power. What matters mostly here is the fact that Vito tried to do an action against me, caused a confrontation, and I won that confrontation as the defending player. So his turn is essentially, his action was wasted, but there's a failsafe for that, where that now Vito gets this card permanently until he wants to use it. It's an instant. So heal a wounded flyer in your reserve. You can do that whenever you want. There's no clause for it to meet. You just have to have a guy in reserve that's wounded, and you can heal him with this card now. And that doesn't cost an action or anything. That's just something you can do whenever you want. So this is a built-in to make it feel not so bad that you lost an action. And obviously, higher cost cards, if you fail with them as an active player, you get more powerful benefits, like a reaction. After a round begins, choose a flyer. That flyer cannot enter the board this round. So I could choose one of... I do not want to see Vito's big bully and he's in reserve. He stays in reserve for that round. So stuff like that, it's pretty powerful. My last activation is King. He's not an offensive character at all. He's about holding the ball and keeping that ball as long as he can. Because his only offensive capability is grapple 1. He's got no push value. He can't hack. So he's going to move, and he's going to go... Oh, geez, I don't know. We'll go here, I guess. No, I want to go... Yeah, we'll go over here. Sure. We're going to hang out over here. And that's it. I'm done all my guys. Now, Vito would normally just activate the rest of his guys until they're done, but he's only got Phaser to go. Going to go ahead and activate Phaser.
Yeah, so Phaser is going to go here, and then with the last movement, go right off the board, which will put Phaser into reserve.
Yep.
And then I will use Cryo Recovery to instantly heal a flyer with that has damage in reserve.
So you just hail... Phaser leaves the board to go heal. Now, one thing to note here that's very important. You can voluntarily leave the board whenever you want. If you do so, you go into the reserve for the rest of the round until next round where you can come back. Except, you would normally lose a victory point if you willingly go off of the circuit on your own, unless you don't use an action, which you didn't do.
I did not.
You move off the board, you lose no victory points, and it's kind of on your terms.
Yeah. And my only action left is for tackle.
Right.
But he's currently being
grappled.
So
now, being a grappled flyer, you're not allowed to move, and you're only allowed to perform one action, which is the escape action. But because you tried to counter grapple, you got the tired counter, which means you can't do any actions either. So you're not allowed to move, and you can't do any actions. So his turn is to do nothing because he's tired and he's grappled. But at the end of your turn, you do lose the tired marker. So you always lose one tired and one hacked marker at the end of your turn. Oh, I did the wrong one.
Yeah.
And you keep the momentum, which is your last activation over there.
Yep.
And now we come to the resolution phase. Okay, the first thing we do is resolve momentum. So I'll do my guy first. I got momentum in this direction, so he gets pushed back over here, and then he gains another level of momentum in this direction. Boop. Just gonna move King out of the way because both of these guys, because they both have momentum in this direction, because they have to, are coming over this way. Boop. And now we both went through an obstacle. Now I have Wally who ignores area terrain only, not obstacles. So we're both going to be suffering a wound.
Because we both went through a force field.
Yes, we're both suffering a wound there. Which means we both lose a victory point. So I go down to 0 victory points. What are you at?
If I lose 1, I'm going down to 3.
Okay. And then we check ball scoring. I still have the ball on King. Every round you end currently controlling the ball is you get 3 victory points. And King keeps holding the ball until it's otherwise taken from him. So he could have that ball for the next 3 rounds. I just have to try and mitigate losing victory points. I made a mistake with Wally there, because I kind of quickly glanced at his rule and it says he ignores wounds from area terrain. I didn't realize that the force field was an obstacle, not area terrain. Which is clearly pointed out, but, you know, that's what I get for not reading closer. But we'll both take the wound anyways. Now we resolve all the area terrain our flyers are currently located in. The only one that's relevant is my, what is he there, safety. He becomes tired for being in the debris. Which means he can move, but he won't be able to do any actions on his next turn. Technically, it was area terrain before ball scoring, but it doesn't really matter in this case. And then next up, we remove any obstacles we may have created on the board. So you can open and close these. You can change the directions on some of them. We didn't do any of that. And now the last step before you ready our players again is we change up the circuit. We got the new circuit coming in. It's always changing, folks. Which I forgot was part of the game. I had thought of a plan. I'm like, wait, I forgot the circuits are going to change. But you know what? I'm okay with this. And now we ready our players again. And we pass the first player token to me. Now we start round 2, but this time we do the substitution phase. Now we have to put players back onto the circuit up to 5. I have 3, so I'm putting 2 back on the circuit, and Vito's going to be putting 1. And the way this works is we choose any of the edges on the circuit for the flyer to come in on. And they'll suffer the effects. Like, obviously, if they come through here, they'll be tired. And that's actually the only effect. If we go through a blank one, we're fine. Put the first one down, and I'm going to put Hacker down over there. And we're bringing Phaser back into play from this edge here, so it's perfectly fine there. Now we're... Oh, I got to put one more down, actually.
So Luka and I, we were actually going back and forth. Well, actually, I was going back and forth in my mind, like, I have a plan, but I think I know what Luka's going to do.
You think
I think I'm going to take my chances. This game, it's really nerve-wracking, because you think you know what your player is going to do,
Yeah.
but then you know what you're going to do, but you don't know what you're going to do. It's
I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to do.
And I think I know what Luka's going to do.
What do you think I'm going to do?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I get to go first anyways.
You do, yeah.
Okay,
So,
I'll put my last player down, then I'll let you... I'm curious what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Grasshopper is going to join safety over there. I don't feel like taking the tired effect by jumping in anywhere else. And I can go here, but this spot's awful. You better not tell me what you were thinking I was going to do, because it could be better than what I was actually going to do
I don't
anyways.
think I'm going to say it. I'm going to wait and see what you do.
Okay.
And then
fair.
I'll say it.
That's fair. I'm going to try and go for a Hail Mary in my first activation. I'm going to activate Hacker. Hacker's going to hack. Is that what I was going to do?
Well, it depends what you're going to hack.
I'm going to hack the big guy.
That's exactly what
I'm going to hack the big guy.
So I had a feeling that you were going to hack him.
Right.
And I was debating about that. So I was going to put a safety right here.
Right.
And then I was going to go around here. But I'm like, you know what? Zerion, he's got a pretty decent firewall of 3.
Right.
To a hacker's hack of 3. So I'm feeling okay, but it all depends when it comes down to the cards. I know you've been drawing really high, but I have to draw high at some point.
Right, that's what I was a little worried about, but I think this is the best, because if I hack him, if you're not familiar with what hack is, it means you can't move, but you can still perform action. So him just sitting there for a turn, that's okay with me.
So I'm gambling on the draw, because I need him really bad to come into this combat.
Yes, so your firewall is 3 to my hack of 3, so it's literally, if we draw the same card, I'll go ahead and draw right now, actually. Ooh.
What is it?
I got a 2.
Okay.
So you have to roll, get a 3 or higher. Oh, it's a 1! No! That's unfortunate. So, Mr. Big is hacked. This is the Luka the draw. Bazap. His suit is malfunctioning. He cannot move. He needs help. That'll go away after he activates, though. So I can still move after that. I think I'm going to try to get into the thick of things. So I'm just going to go to there and then to there. As I don't know, do something over there. He's not really that great. He's got dodge of 2. He can ball handle as well, so there's that. So what are you thinking after that devastating hit?
It threw my plans in a wrench. Or threw a wrench into my plans.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But I think I have another counter. It's still going to be the same plans that I was going to do, just without my big bully.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with phaser.
Yep.
1, 2, into the fray. And I'm going to try to take the ball away from you.
You're going to attempt to steal the ball. What's her ball handling?
3.
So it's a 3 on my 3A.
It's going down to the cards again.
So the one thing with King is he's got this... it's tough in this regard because you win ties. I essentially get to draw 2 cards and pick one of the results. But I get to see what the first one is first before... Because I can only do that once per round.
Okay.
But I get to see what the first card is before I decide if I want to do it or not. Well, I get to see what both of our cards are. So we're gonna now the only option I have against the steal is a defend, and that's a ball carrying one. So I have a 3 and you have a 3. So it's up to the cards. So you got
2.
Okay, so I need a 3 up. I got a 1. So I'm gonna use his reaction once per round, and I need a 3 up. Oh, it's another 1! Oh, you stole the ball. So those are both gone.
So the ball will come to me.
Interesting.
And that's it, because I moved 1, 2,
Yes.
and that's it.
That is true. So I'll put this on him, just to note that I use my once per round limited action. Honestly, I'm going to just move Grasshopper. I'm going to activate Grasshopper, and he's just going to move to here to get in the game. And that's my move.
I'm feeling confident with phaser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use hacker to try and hack your safety.
My safety? Okay, so my safety has a firewall of 2.
Okay.
Drawing cards, a total of 6?
Oh, really? I got a 4.
Alright, so I win. That means you get to keep that. Is that cryo recovery?
Yeah.
So that's the one where they heal again when they're in reserve. Okay. So I don't get hacked.
It's kind of good, though. I got rid of that 4.
Burned my 4, and I don't really have huge ambitions for him either. So that's really good on you. I think that's really good for you. I'm just going to activate King. King is going to try and steal that ball right back.
Okay.
Except she gets +1 to her defense for ball carrying when someone's trying to steal the ball from her.
Phaser does, yeah.
Yes, that's not good.
So her ball handling will be 4.
Against my... I win ties, so I'm going to get a total of... I got a 1.
She's got a 8.
So I burnt your 4, but I don't get the ball back from you, but I do get to keep cryo recovery of my own, so I can heal one of my own wounded guys.
So Therinth, she's going to go 1, 2 to here.
She'll gain a momentum in that direction.
Yeah, going that way, and then she'll use her instant ability where she can resolve, or she'll get another boost going in the opposite direction.
Right, she has 2 abilities. One of them is she can instantly resolve her momentum on her now.
Yeah.
Or she can choose to give herself momentum in any direction she wants. So currently she has momentum going this way. She can choose to give herself momentum in any other direction, and the way that works is it counteracts the other momentum.
Yeah, she essentially has like rocket packs on her back and in her front, so they counteract.
Right, she's just, she can stabilize herself in space.
Exactly.
She's one of the few that actually is smart and brings propellants to space with her.
Exactly.
So she is done there. I will activate safety, and he is just going to voluntarily leave. Because he's tired anyways, he can't do any actions. And again, because I'm leaving on my own terms, and without doing an action, I lose no victory points. Next up, we have your tackle activating.
Yeah, I'm going to try to break the grapple.
So, the only option I have to you escaping is a counter grapple, which means I automatically get tired, and we have to do a grapple off. So we're both hurt. My grapple's down to 2. I assume yours is down to 2 as well?
Exactly.
So, it's a confrontation. I get a 5.
Oh, I get...
oh, you actually break free!
I do, yeah, with a 6.
Oh, jeez, that's really good. Okay, this is not a good round for me. So I'm tired now, and you're free. So you break free. I'm tired now, but we keep our momentum, and you can still move now. But that was your action to escape.
Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll just go to here.
Just one move there?
Yeah, let's go 1 there.
All right, so you'll be there, and then my activation is simple. I have Wally. I'm just going to leave the field. Because I can't do any actions anyways, and I'm hurt, so I am out of here. So
actually, yeah.
So now, if Vito was to do that, he would lose a victory point because he already used an action trying to escape. And now my counter grapple is a reaction. It's not an actual action. So you can do 1 reaction per action used against you. So him leaving the field, it doesn't matter if I go through that. I get 2 stacks of tired, but the second you leave the field, you lose all of your hacked and tired counters. And you lose your momentum.
Actually, you know what? I think, yeah, to scratch that, I'm willing to sacrifice 1 victory point.
So you're going to go out the field as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to leave
That
because you also want to heal him?
I might even just sub him out.
Just get rid of him?
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put you down to 2. And then, because I really do like Wally, I will use my instant cryo recovery to heal Wally back up to full, back up to his hail state.
And I'm going to use my cryo recovery as well to heal my tackle.
Gotcha. And your last action will be the big guy who's hacked. He can simply move.
Simply move.
Yeah.
He's not going to move. I'm going to see what the next round looks like.
Yeah. So he's done his action. He loses the hack token. Now we enter the resolution phase of the second round of 4. We do momentum. None of our flyers have momentum remaining, so that's done. We resolve all the area terrain, but none of us stayed in area terrain. And then we do scoring, where you get another 3 points, going up to 5 to my 3, which is pretty good. And then we do overall cleanup, where we'd take off if we changed up any of the actual obstacles and something like that, which we didn't do. Now we go to the 3rd circuit. Here we have our new circuit. This one doesn't look bad at all, actually. It's pretty tame. And I passed you the first player token. Oop. So you get to go first. But we recover our guys, and then you get to put your 5th player back on the field first in the reinforcement phase. Substitutions. Vito bringing in a safety. So if he comes in there, he gets tired. So I guess that's not a good spot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those little the kinetic barriers.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about those. I guess I can go here.
Yep, that's also a good spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right here. Yeah, I'm bringing in someone new.
Now I have 2 guys I can bring in. I'm going to bring in my safety over here. No adverse effects. And I'm going to bring in Wally right here as he's back at full health. And now we Coreball. I got to put 2 in because I only had 3 guys left. As opposed to Vito's 4.
Alrighty, so safety.
Ooh.
He's going to move 1 into here.
Doing a push?
He's going to be a push.
Alright, King's getting pushed. So the only thing I can do is dodge. Confrontation time. Should be 3 on 3. I'm really hoping to get...
Oh,
that's
7.
4. Oh, man. Ugh. He's going to be gone. That's 2 points for you. That's so good. Why'd you get a 7? So I could use this once... He's out of here anyways, man. I can use once per game to draw a new card and use whichever one I want. Not once per game, sorry. Once per round. But if I do that, there's no 5s. At least I don't think there's any 5s. I would need a 5 to beat that because you win ties. I'm curious anyways. Since he's gone... It's a 1. Alright, so... Hey, look, I got rid of a 1. Look at that. So where would you like to push him?
We're going off the board.
Yep, that is 2 victory point loss for me. I'm going to go next with Wally here. He's going to move, boop, and boop, crash into there, and he's going to attempt to grapple her. Try and get that ball from you. So your dodge is 3?
Yep.
I assume that's your highest defensive thing against this? Yeah, you have no grapple. Yeah. Alright, so confrontation time. I win ties. I got a 7.
Oh, jeez, I got a 1.
You got a 1, yeah. So she's grappled, which means she automatically loses the ball. Now we stuck there. That's my turn.
Zirion, he's going to go next. He's going to turn around and go 1, 2.
Oh no, my striker!
And then he's going to try to push your striker.
Sorry, that's my safety.
Or sorry, yeah, your safety off the board.
Okay, your push is 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I got push 3, but I'm off the board anyways if you push me, so I'm going to counter push. If I succeed, I get to push you off the board instead.
Ooh.
Alright, so I need a good number. Oh, that's not a good number. What'd you get? I got a 2.
I got a 3.
Alright, I'm out of here. Send me to space. Boom. I lose 2 victory points, but I only have 1, so I go down to 0. Can't go below 0. My hacker's going to go. This is the danger zone. We're going to move here, move here. We're going to pick up the ball. So I grab the ball, except that's 4 models that are going to take damage in there. Well, except for my guy. My guy won't. Wally. Hacker is done. For picking up the ball, it's just as long as you're there, the ball's there and it's free, you can pick it up. We have to actually have some points into ball carrying to do so.
Hacker is going to attempt to hack Grasshopper.
Grasshopper has a firewall of 2. So I get a total of 4.
I get a total of 5.
So he is hacked. He can move, but he can't perform actions. No, sorry, it's the other way around. He can perform actions, but cannot move. Hacked. My last activation is Grasshopper, so I'm going to activate him. And he's done. So he loses the hack token after his activation.
Therinth, she will...
This is her down here.
Yeah. So if I go to try to push someone out...
So you can't end in that square at all to perform any actions there because you're not allowed to have more than 4 models, and you're not allowed to have more than 2 of your own models in there as well. So that tile is locked up unless there was a way to push. If you wanted me to lose my ball carrier, you'd have to have 2 of my models nearby being pushed in to force both of them out.
Okay, so what Therinth will do, she will go 1 to here, 2 here, and just end her movement.
Right. And I have no other activations. Do you have one more after that?
I have Phaser, which is here.
You could try to break free, and then you can move out of that. It doesn't really matter, because it turns out that both of our characters there ignore area terrain, so neither of us are going to take damage from that area. I thought I was being clever, but turns out I was doing that for no reason. Well, I guess I made you drop the ball. That was pretty important. Never mind, she can't actually break out, because she doesn't have the grapple characteristic, so she is just stuck there. Alright, so that's her activation. Brings us to the resolution phase. We have to do momentum first. There is no momentum. Then we have to do area terrain. So Wait, did you activate him? You should probably move him. I'll let you go back and move him.
Oh, right, yeah,
there we
Hacker.
go.
He'll go here.
There we go. Yeah, we forgot to move Hacker. Or we kind of jumped the gun on moving Hacker. So instead of Hacker taking a needless damage, you won't take a damage. And my Hacker and your Striker, what's it called?
Safety.
Safety are both going to take damage. We both lose a victory point. I'm at 0, so I lose nothing.
I lose 1.
And my Hacker is wounded. Now we check for the ball carrier. I actually have the ball right now, so I get 3 victory points, putting me back up to 3 to Vito's 4. And then various cleaning up that we don't have to do, and then we get a new circuit. The 4th circuit. Now there's 5 here, just so you can never plan what the last one might be. And this, folks, is the new circuit. So we refresh our people, and I get the first player token now. Why don't we get King in here? He's going to jump back in over there. Vito's already got 5 flyers, so I'll add the 5th one. My safety's going to jump in through here, and he's going to gain momentum in this direction. The plan is he's just going to pick up a bunch of speed and see where he ends up. Alright, it's time to activate. I get to go first. I'm going to activate Hacker first. Hacker's going to go with the ball. 1, 2. We're going to pass the ball off to King. He's a little bit safer with it. We'll see if that helps. And that was a pass action that can be normally intercepted by opponents if they're in the same square. We're going to put a tire token on him from last round. It won't really matter because he has the relentless rule, which means as soon as he's activated, he removes any tire tokens on him. Just to keep it clean. We're actually just going to activate him now then.
So he's going to activate.
Relentless kicks in. Bye-bye tired.
And we are going to go...
Oh, are you going to go through it?
2, we're going to take the wound.
Oh, he takes the wound. You lose a victory point, he takes the wound automatically. What's his push down to?
3.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And we're going to try to push.
Alright, how many victory points? You go down to 3?
I go down to 3, so we're tie game.
Yeah, and you're going to try and push King?
I'm going to try to push King.
Alright, all I have is dodge. So it's card on card. I got a 3.
Oh, no.
You have to get a 3.
Oh, I got a 2!
Oh, you get to keep that card now, though.
Okay.
So what is that? Let me see. I'll show the camera. So this is Energy Field. After activating 1 flyer, that flyer can ignore obstacles until the end of this activation, which are...
That would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
That would have been great.
That would have been great, yes. Oh no, if he gets pushed, he dies. I'm gonna activate my safety. He's gonna go whoosh, go here. Pick up momentum in this direction. And he's gonna whoosh, go in here, and he's gonna push Hacker.
Ooh.
Gaining the momentum that goes this way pretty much counteracts the second momentum I just got there. So I still have 1 momentum going that way. And it's my 3 push to your 2 dodge. So I'm going to get a total of 5.
Oh.
Oh!
To my 6.
Okay. So I actually fail that, and I get this preventative missile. After the resolution phase begins, choose 1 square. The area terrain in that square is cancelled. Okay, it's okay. I could maybe save one of my guys. I'll consider that. This is the last phase of the game. By the way, not to mention, I went through my deck, and Vito had just gone through his deck. Here we go. We got the safety.
Yeah, it's my only saving grace to try and do anything. Even though he's wounded, he's going to go over into this space, and he's going to try to push. Now you're...
I'm dodge 3.
Yeah, and I'm only push 2 because he's wounded.
This is a Hail Mary. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's Hail Mary. I'm relying on the cards.
So the issue here, now normally if you push me, the ball drops there, then, well, whoop-de-doo, I just walk over there and pick it up with someone else. And you'd have 2 models there and no one else can go in there. But the safety has the turbo rule where you can just jump out of there if you want to, or just leave the field. That'll cost you a victory point, though, but I guess you can just go back here. So you have your push of 2 because he's hurt against my dodge of 3. The King still has this once per round ability where I can draw 2 cards. So I got a 1.
I got a 2.
So a total of 4. Okay, so I need a 2+. I'm going to use his once per game ability. That gives me a 5.
Oh.
So I dodge it. But you get that card because you failed.
I do, yeah.
What is that card there?
Energy field, so same one as it has last time.
Ignore terrain, okay. And then if you want, you can turbo boost him to get him out of that tile. Otherwise, no one else can go in there.
I'm going to use the safeties turbo and then move out.
Yeah, so it gives you an extra movement. I'm going to go with Grasshopper. He's going to move into this tile, gain momentum backwards towards me. And he's going to attempt to grapple Hacker. I got a grapple 3 against your dodge of 2.
2.
So, carding off. I got a total of 5.
Oh, jeez.
Against your... You need a 4.
I do.
Oh, my goodness! Again! Why can't I do anything? Alright. So I get energy field now where I can ignore an obstacle when they move through it. Whatever. He'll just move back over here and get a second momentum in that direction. He'll move back. I may have made a mistake, but we'll see later. Where's the Hail Mary?
Okay, Hacker. He's going to go through the field.
So you lose a victory point doing that.
I do?
Yeah, because you hurting him.
No, with energy field.
Oh, nice. There you go. Energy field makes you ignore that. Nice.
Yeah, so he's going to go in here. And then he's going to try to use ball handling.
And steal the ball from me.
Steal the ball.
And I'm going to try and defend it with my ball handling of 3 against your 2.
Ooh.
Alright.
Hard.
Oh.
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet.
Just look at it.
Oh, okay.
You got a 4?
Did you get a 4?
I don't know. I got this. What'd you get?
I got this.
Oh yeah, show it.
I got a 3.
That puts you at a 5?
That puts me at a 5. What'd you get?
The
suspense is killing me.
Got a 1.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So you take the ball from me.
Ow, that actually hurt.
Sorry, I'm awful.
I slipped.
Rip Vito's wrist. Okay, so the ball is yours. Alright, now for the potential heartbreaking moment.
No, what did you do?
King is just going to try and steal the ball back because he hasn't activated yet.
Okay, come at me, bro.
Okay, so it's the same thing, but I win ties.
Okay.
I can't use his once per phase ability. Okay, what'd you get?
What?
You have to defend with ball hand. I'm just trying to steal the ball right back.
Oh, are you coming in with
Yeah, King's just right there.
Oh no!
I'm just trying to steal it back.
What'd you get?
I don't know. What'd you get?
I got a 4.
Yep, you take it.
Yes!
That's a huge Hail Mary.
Oh,
you might have got
yes!
the game. I think you just got the game.
Hacker!
Wait, I should just. Oh, it would have been the same either way. Oh, I should have grabbed the ball. Oh man, so I get cryo recovery, which doesn't really matter. And then after that, I'm going to move. I'll just move 2 spaces. I'll move to right there actually, and I'm not going to do anything. I got no more actions to do. Actually, I'll move right here and gain momentum. So he's like, I'm sad I didn't get the ball. Oops, that's the end of my action. And then I get to go. Wait, no, you get to go.
Yeah.
This could be it. If you can push, you go in and you can push. It says you can't push grappled guys, but you can push me. But if you push me, we both go off. But if you can get both of us off, that's my last activation. Guaranteed win for the Sharks.
Yeah.
You're push 3 against my defense dodge of 2.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here, sports fans.
Now I could counter grapple, but if I counter grapple, I get tired and I can't afford that. My plan is if you fail this on my last activation, I'm gonna go over here and push Hacker off the table. If he survives this and I can push Hacker off the table, then we have a game still. But if this fails, then I'm done.
Because then the ball will still be there. Right?
Yeah, we all lose 2 points for being pushed off the table as well.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's let's see if I drew some crap. I got a 2-1-1, so I'm hoping for a 4. I'm using my dodge because I can't use my grapple. So oh, what'd you get?
Oh,
Did you get a 2?
I got a 4.
Did you get what, 3 4s in a row? You got a 3-3-4? I got a 4. I can see. That's game.
I can see.
That's game because you push them out. We both lose 2.
Sharks!
I go to 1. You go to 1. I got no activations.
I got another activation.
Oh yeah, I guess you could lower me to 0 points probably, but I can.
Oh,
see
I mean, no, she went off the board.
Oh, it was her. That was last.
Yeah,
that was last activation. Okay. So in the end, momentum would. He would go down this way. Oh, he'd go into the field, and I would destroy that with my missile. So the score is going to be 6
to.
No, you'd be at 4 to my 1.
4 to 1.
Yeah, 4-1 for the Sharks. There you have it, folks. Coreball. Why don't we have a little post-game discussion? Because that last round was very frustrating. Would I recommend the game? Yes.
100%.
Would I recommend it more if I won? Yes. I wish I should have won. Okay. The first 3 rounds, pretty standard stuff. You do something good, I do something good, you do something good, I do something good, and it's back and forth. You were actually up for the first couple rounds, but I was able to keep back up.
And then the last round happened, and then the hacker happened.
I thought for sure I was going to lose, because you were pushing me pretty hard near the end, and then like I'm gonna go for the Hail Mary with the hacker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's working.
Yep.
It's working. Oh no, it's working really good. And the space sharks win.
It was like the perfect place. Let's break it down. The first 3 rounds, they matter, but they're long and forgotten, and I can't break them down quite as well. But the 4th round, I passed the ball to King with my hacker. It was with my wounded hacker. So the King's safe in a corner. He had a force field right beside him, so anything coming through that force field would have lost a victory point and taken a wound. I'm like, I'm in such a good position right now. Your one guy comes in, has to take the wound, and then you get the energy field card off of failing his push. I'm like, this is perfect. That was the one guy I was worried about. And then I'm like, there's still the hacker there I have to deal with. So hacker comes in, because the striker was your safety. The push guy was already wounded, and the other lady was too far away. So I have to deal with the hacker. So my safety's like, I got a safety. He's got defense too. I win ties. The safety will just push him off the field. I'll get 2 victory points. Easy win, because I was grappling the other lady as well. And then I'm going to take her off the table with me. So I would lose a point, then you'd lose 2. So I'd be up by 3 victory points after that. But lo and behold, the safety failed. And I didn't need any good cards out of it. I'm like, okay, well, I still have Grasshopper to push this hacker before he does anything with it. And then you did your turn. I can't remember what you did on your... your safety came in to try and push him off.
He did.
Yeah. And then, but he was hurt, and he didn't get the high enough card.
Yeah.
And then he turbo boosted out to open up that square for the hacker to come in next turn.
Yeah, that was my last, I think, saving grace.
Yes.
To do anything. And the hacker had a ball handling of 2, which is okay.
Yes.
It's not bad. I wasn't anticipating him to actually go in and do anything.
Right.
So it was like, this is the last Hail Mary of the game. Anything for me to do. For me to do anything. Right. So, let's see what he can do.
And I can't have something silly happen like the hacker come in and steal the ball from King. So I put the grasshopper into him as well. And lo and behold, I failed that as well. And then his preceding turn, you put up an energy field, you avoid the force field, you take no damage, so hacker's coming in at full strength, and yoink, and he just takes it. He's just like, I can't believe I did that.
Just juggling.
He's just like right in front of King. He's like, got the ball. It's like, King's like, well, I'll just go ahead and take the ball back. I have a higher ball handling, and I win ties, and I got a 1.
Yeah, it's like doing the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Of the Coreball world.
Right, and at that point, I went from like a 90% chance to win, I want to say, maybe 80 to 90% chance to win, to like a 15% chance to win, because I had... if I was able to survive that dodge at the end and then push the hacker off, I could have still won at that point. But I failed the dodge against, I can't remember your character's name, but it was on my Wally.
Oh, right, yeah.
Zerenia? She got over there.
Therinth? Oh, no, the one you were...
The one I wasn't grappling. It
Phaser.
It was Therinth.
Therinth.
She's the one who came and pushed me off.
Yeah.
So Therinth came and pushed both of our characters off, which lost me 2 victory points and my last chance to win the game. And that's Coreball. It's your sports board game, right? It's high interaction. That's probably the best quality of it. You're always doing something. You're doing something, and then you force your opponent to do something, and then your opponent gets to go. So you go, I go. Very high interaction gameplay. It's a very well-made game. This is a very well-designed game, folks. So,
very, very tactical.
Yes.
So it's not very much like it is. You go, I go.
Yes.
But there. Like I think I said it in the game, it's almost like chess, where there's times where we're sitting down like this, trying to plan out our strategy. Yes. You definitely have to think 2 to 3 turns ahead of the game, or ahead of your opponent, I should say.
And the rough part is when the circuits swap every round. It throws everything into a bike.
It does, yeah.
I think the first round I had forgotten that, and I had a play set up because I had Wally grappling one of your characters, and the next turn I was just going to move on to the asteroid field and force him to die. But what ended up happening is you actually broke free from the grapple. And I got lucky because the next circuit that came over, there was still a red asteroid in that field. So like, okay, I got lucky. So my dumb plan was actually gonna work, but you actually broke free. There's a lot of upsets on my end. At least I remember a lot of upsets. Anyways, folks, this game will be going up on Kickstarter shortly. By the time we're recording this video about half a month, but I can't remember the actual time. About a good half a month to a month before it goes out on Kickstarter. So you're going to be seeing this shortly before it goes up on Kickstarter. So keep an eye out for Coreball on Kickstarter. The information will be down below as always. And remember, everyone, have fun and happy wargaming.